Alexandra Tachalova bize iyi bir slide deck hazırlarken kullanabileceğimiz bazı tool'lardan bahsedecek. Bu bayağı hani kağıt kaleme elimize alıp not alabileceğimiz tarzda bir sunum. Bu tool'ları birçok yerde kullanabiliriz. Satış süreçlerinden tutalım da şirket içi raporlamalara kadar. Zaten Alexandra'nın da uzmanlığı şu anda marketing teknolojilerine yönelik ajanslarda marketing teknolojilerine yönelik araçlara bir pazarlama danışmanlığı da veriyor. Dolayısıyla birçok aracı tanıyor aslında. Burada engin bilgilerini bize paylaşacak diyorum ve kendisine bırakıyorum sözü. Thank you, Alexandra.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I'm really excited. And I see a lot of faces, beautiful people here, and I'm in the middle of this digital marketing landscape. And my name is Alexandra. For you, you can just call me Alex. And I'm digital marketing consultant. And before we are going to move to a real presentation and my slides, I want to tell you a story how it was created. Oops. Okay. So, some time ago, a couple of months ago, I did a digital agency survey which indicated the current state of our market. I collected more than 1,000 answers, and this survey, it will be featured on Entrepreneur, and there were a lot of companies who are helping me to conduct it, and you see those logos, and thanks to those companies that distributed my study. And that's the most popular services which digital marketing agencies provide. What that means to us who are not from digital agencies, for example, and I'm more than sure that we have like 0% of digital marketing agencies. By the way, let's raise hands. Who are from digital marketing agency? Hardly see it. Okay, I see. Not a lot, but it's quite good number. So, let me tell you why, if you are not from digital agency, you should be focused on this as well. Because that's what's in demand of our market, and that's what we should provide to our business as well. So if you don't do social media, then your competitor may do it, and that's an important thing. Also, I want to highlight the growth of demand in analytics and UX, and that's kind of refreshing me a lot. Because I've started to see a lot of content related to this topic. And what I think it's really important, and there was like a bunch of presentations before me, starting from Marcus and ending up with Marcus' presentation from Search Metrics. And they were all emphasis on the importance of being user-friendly, on the importance of being focused on your users. That's why that's a growth of analytics and UX, as you can see in a bigger agencies, because our market is interested in doing that. The other thing is payment models. That's how agencies charge their customers. And that's kind of the way you can see they deal with their customers. For sure, for us, like digital marketing experts, not from an agency side, I want to tell you that it's a story about the stability of our market, because, as you can see, monthly retainer is the most popular among other payment models. And it tells us that our market is really stable. Clients believe to agencies, and they want to stay longer with them. That's why they stick with this payment model. And the next slide points out the average fee for a monthly retainer contract. How much they pay. And that's, as you can see, it's, so the majority is around, let's say, $1,000, $3,000 that the average bill for a monthly retainer contract. And that's really good because based on this data, you can decide how much money you need to pay to digital marketing consultant inside your company. It doesn't mean that you should compete with agencies in their rates because they provide much more than one single specialist, but you can aggregate this number of the number of your specialists. And that makes a lot of sense then. You're looking at these slides and you think like, okay, but it's too general, yeah? It's like it's giving some understanding, but it's too general. And as I told you, you can just, it shortly will be featured on this blog, and you can grab it from here right now. It's an editorial view. And I was like playing with those numbers and trying to find a really big spot in our industry, which I can refer to and which I want to touch today. That's why I want to make everyone here more powerful in making their pitches with the emotional and competitive intelligence. And believe me, it doesn't matter whether you are pitching for your client or whether you are pitching for your boss or presenting to your colleagues. These techniques, these kind of ideas, they are going to empower how you do it, how you perform, and you are going to succeed. But first of all, just think over it a little bit. What is more important for us when we do our business? And it doesn't matter whether you are a manager, whether you are an employee, or you are a business owner. What is the most important? What is the most important for you? Emotions or logic? Let's vote. Who's going to vote for emotions? Okay, maybe more? We are emotional. We want to build a relationship. We want to be special for people. Okay. And what about data? All those beautiful reports that are really insightful tools. Who is using tools, reports? Okay. Okay. It was kind of predictable because our industry is more related to data. But this kind of a quote, which I referred to, it's a Forbes interview with this super nice lady, and she emphasized that emotions are more important sometimes to us rather than logic, data, and reports, because we are human beings and we have a strong desire to be emotional. And look at this video.
Friendship. The choices we make reveal the true nature of our character.
So you now probably know that if you drink Guinness, you're a good person. But here's the thing, that it's really good advertising, and it's about a specific product, and it's creating a really good emotional attachment. Now, I want to tell my friend that Guinness is really good in doing advertisements, especially emotional one, that connecting the dots. But is it really relevant to our industry? We crunch in numbers, we work with numbers, we pitch our customers, our employees, our business owner with numbers, and that's quite logical. But hold on, I have something about our industry. about how emotions changed our industry. And that story, it's called Until My World Collapsed. Okay, that's an average content marketing specialist. His name is Nathan, and he works at Raven Tools. And that's what he usually received from his content. He was thrilled to receive around 50 views. But then his life changed dramatically. That was a really sad time, a terribly sad time, because this guy, he had a daughter who couldn't live with her disease. And he was so deeply attached to that, and he was so deeply feeling bad about that. It was a disaster. His life was ruining. And he was so he was so used to write that he decided to share it, because it was so painful that he wanted to share this story. And he started to write on his Facebook, day by day, telling a story about their wins and fails and how he was moving in his depression. And you know what? His content started to become viral. He was receiving more than 10,000 likes each his post. He was receiving more than 10,000 views. So here is a story about real emotions, about how he was really feeling bad about his life. And that's why his content started to be so viral. And it's not about the story that he was a bad guy who started to share his story in order to become popular. No, he was just really honest about his emotions. And that's why he became so viral. And right now everything is fine with him. He's pretty, let's say, happy with his life because he was able to cope with these things, and right now he's a super high quality content marketing specialist. And this one story, it's a bit funny and ironical story about how things could change in our life in an unpredictable way. It's called Isn't Good Enough. In UK, in United Kingdom, they have a pretty big agency. It's called ICOM. And they're pretty famous. And one day, they received a call from a customer who have been receiving a steady growth and an incredible progress in his SEO campaign. And on top of that, he was managed by one of the most experienced SEO manager and account manager in their team. So, do you think this customer was happy? I should assume yes. But here's the real story. This customer called and asked to change his account manager. And everyone was like, look, he's fucking crazy. What's up? He has the best SEO manager. His results are incredible. What's up? And so, he wasn't happy with his manager because his manager failed in communication. He wasn't showing enough empathy. He wasn't showing enough interest in his business. Because of that, this person wasn't interested in working with this manager. And on top of that, this agency received a relationship break with this person. And they were failed in having a loyal customer. So that's why emotions are really important to us. And what emotions do for us? They start and build and prolong our relationship with our customers and with our employees, with our team. But data closed this deal. Data convinced us. That's why we need both. And only when we have emotions and data together, we can be enough successful in pitching our ideas, in closing our deals, in convincing our employees and our team to believe in us. And that's the best channel. So if you remember about survey, that's the data from survey. And as you can see, that's the best channels that digital agencies stated as the best for getting leads. And I'm more than sure if we go to other markets, we will see a correlation. Because I heard from numerous businesses that they get the best clients from word of mouth. And as you can see, also offline events are in high demand here in terms of getting leads. That's why we need to be enough proactive in building emotional connection between us and our clients. That's why we need to know how to do it and how to build it in a proper way. That's another story. That's about the average customer's value, lifetime value. LTV, it's lifetime value. And that's how much time agency customers prefer to stay with agencies. And as you can see, there is a huge portion of people who decided to leave agency with less than 1 year. So it means that there are plenty of work for us to make our customers really loyal to us and to stay with us. That's why I want to share with you some ideas, some real cases which you can use. And the first one that you need to remember, you need to know how to make your customers feel special. And then you need to make small favors. Yeah, you need to invest in it. That's what you need to care about, because in reality, they cost nothing. And I will show you why. But changes that you are going to receive in attitude towards you are non-comparable with those small favors. And that's a case from my life. One day I received this email. So it was like from one tool, pretty popular tool, and they were seeking for my help. And you know what? I was on vacation. I was like, oh, come on, I'm on vacation. And then I thought, okay, if I help you, then you are going to owe me. So basically, it started to work with us. Because I was like in the middle, actually I was like in the middle of building a relationship with this tool in order to pitch it in the end. So I was like, okay, it might be a good idea. And you know, it took me less than 20 minutes to figure out their situation and to contact with the actors with whom I really built a relationship. I just texted on my Facebook and asked what's up, and they were like, replied me, and then I talked with that guy, and that's it. And he was like, oh, thank you very much. And for sure I wasn't interested about like money and whatever he was like mentioning in the end of the email. I told him, okay, no need. And right now, They are sharing my content on Twitter. They're helping me in promoting me as a brand, and they're doing a great job in giving me a hand for all my future projects. So right now I have a friend. And my 20 minutes, it doesn't cost me anything, because what I receive back is more important rather than my 20 minutes. That's another research, which you find out really interesting. I'm not that sure. So if you don't know the guy that surname is Cialdini, then I highly recommend you to check his books, especially the book called The Influencer, or The Influence, yeah, something like that. And that's a really cool video that illustrates his book, one of part of his book. And so that's the idea of that research. It was conducted in several restaurants, and it was like the idea of figuring out the percent of tips and how people react on giving some kind of a free stuff. But in reality, it was included in any bill, for sure. There is no free stuff. And so that was like about sweets. And they gave one sweet, as you can see the first one line, and they received a 5% growth to the average tip. Then they gave 2 sweets. And so what is incredible, the tips weren't doubled. They tripled. So that's about emotional side. And then that's a question to you. What they gave in order to receive 23% growth? Any ideas? How much sweets, maybe? Okay, it's a tricky question, actually, because that's not the number of sweets. What they did, they gave sweets, then they started to move from their table, then moved back and tell them, I gave you sweets because you are so nice people. That's why they received a huge growth through the roof in the additional tips. So this idea is pretty simple, because everyone wants to be special. We have a strong desire to be special to someone and to be emotionally attached. That's why we can use the power of personalization, like in my example, because I am not only giving you sweets, I give you sweets because you are special. That's the idea here. And that's some kind of random examples which I was able to find in order to show you how you can make your customers special. So that's a marine software website, and they added their customer. And what you can do here, you can move a step further, and for example, you can change your customer faces here. So each month, you can nominate a new customer and put it on your website. That's a really good idea to personalize your message and to become closer to your customers, and they are going to appreciate it a lot. The other pretty simple idea is holiday greetings, which can be super personalized. So the first one is like you can send something which is not really expensive and also write a personal message. Here's like written, I know what is written there, so I'll tell you. That's like, happy birthday Sam, and please tell Emma that SEO isn't dead. So it's a personalized message with a joke. It's not handwritten, but still it's not a random happy birthday greeting. Or you can simply do a message on Twitter, which is going to be super personalized, or even on your Facebook page, so whatever you prefer. So your clients will be happy about that, I'm more than sure. How about sending small gifts and swag? So that's, I love MailChimp, because that's their current Christmas campaign, New Year Christmas campaign, and they're sending out socks, which is really cool, and people, they love it, as you can see. And also you can do some kind of t-shirts, hats, whatever you want, but you can make it even more powerful, because when I receive a t-shirt from someone, I was like, okay, it's just a t-shirt. But what you can do, you can ask your CEO to write a message to this t-shirt, handwritten one, yeah. Like, something like, we like you. And that's going to be a powerful message, because it's going to be a super personalized from the CEO of your company. And that's the idea about writing just saying thank you notes. In Cialdini book, you will find a story about a salesperson. He was selling cars, and he decided to write to all his customers a thank you note. That's really popular in the US to write thank you notes. And he was written more than 300 thank you notes, and they were pretty simple. I like you. And the name of a customer. That's it. He received a huge return from this, because all those customers were really touched by his message, and he was like selling his cars more effectively to all those people who received those messages. So it's really simple, it's really easy, and everyone can do it, but not everyone uses it, especially in digital marketing, because we are trying to stay away from offline marketing. Why we should send all those things? We are digital. In reality, people want to receive those things, and they greatly appreciate them. So I highly recommend you to think over it, and maybe you can find a room for changes. That's a really great way to be closer to your customers and make a more personalized connections is to be together with them on social media. So I'm talking about, like, if you manage a couple of customers like account manager, you can simply add them on your social media channels and congratulate them with birthdays, weddings, feeling not only happy but feeling sad when something goes wrong with them. And that's going to be about empathy. And that's really easy and doesn't cost you a lot of money. Video calling. Really good stuff, actually. Oops. I'm sorry, I will be back. Because there is a study that if you do normal calls, it's not so effective compared to images. So we tend to believe to emails more than to calls. But video calling, that's the best way when you when you put together your voice and your face, because people believe you a lot more when they see your face. So so your body language, it's showing to them that you are not lying. And that's a story about also Marine Software, because I was really excited to talk with them at SMX Munich in March, and I was like super, let's say, shocked when they told me that they visit all their customers in Germany. I was like, what? They was like, yeah, each year we just plan it and visit all our customers. I was like, it's fucking brilliant. Because you can come, talk with them, they're super loyal because you care about them. Yes, it's not cheap at all, but it's brilliant. And if you have like local customers, I mean, like which are around you, you can easily reach them out and schedule a meeting. and they will be really happy to see you, to talk with you. Because like when we have all those digital marketing communications, like receiving emails, sometimes we are losing a connection, emotional connection between a company and employees in this company. And when they are like establishing a personal connections, that's what converts us to super low customers. Look at Moss. They have a community, they have their event, and we feel really emotionally attached to them. That's the reason why we really love them, and I really love all their kind of visible logos and everything related to it. But that's about emotions. I was like talking about previously about data. And let me tell you a story. That's my boyfriend. And when Apple Watch appeared on the market, for sure he decided really fast in milliseconds that he wanted to have this Apple Watch. But he was like, okay, I want this Apple Watch, but why? Because it's so expensive, it's like my iPhone, and I just want it. And then he started to justify him, like, okay, I need to justify it. How I should tell everyone that I need Apple Watch? I was like, brilliant. I have a lot of meetings, and I need those phones to take at a meeting. When will be my next meeting? He was like, okay, brilliant. And then he bought them. So that's a really simple story that simplifies this one, that we have two systems. The first one, it works pretty simple. The first one, we see someone and we decide in milliseconds yes or no. Whether we love this person, whether we love this product, it doesn't matter. And then it comes system two. It's justification. Why I love or dislove this or that. And that's how it works together. It's about like connecting the dots. So for example, with Apple Watch, he made a justification that he needed in order to check meetings, which is kind of logical one. And that's kind of like, it works really good when we have, for example, an interview with someone. We open a door, see a person, and then decide like yes, no. And then we need to justify our decision. So that's why we need data to justify our decisions and to be better in pitching our clients. Because the most reason in our, let's say, landscape that people, they don't understand why we have those fees, and from other hand, what kind of value we provide with our deals. So the data gives us the ability to justify why we charge so much and for what. And I want to share with you an SEO tools and SEO strategies that you can use for any pitch, in-house, clients, whatever you prefer, because it's powerful and it's scalable. And those strategies, they help you, what? Convert better and increase the % of conversion rate. That's it. So the main thing with us that we can't point out the problem before we don't know about that. So it's like unknown unknowns. That's what we have in our life. So you can read it. My brain hurts when I read it, so I'm not going to read it, but you can check it. So basically, we need to understand how to uncover those unknowns for our customers. Because when I don't know about a problem, I don't have this problem. So our main goal here is to point out a problem, show this problem, and solve it. That's why here is a simple logic which you can follow. Find it, point out a problem, organize and present this problem, and yeah, the last one, it's really important, analyze your results. what you've reached so far. And that's about data. I love it. I love tools. I hope you love them as well, because we are moving to the data side. And so that's the most commonly used tools to pitch clients that agencies use. I'm not going to cover each tool here, but I'll try to take some of them and show what you can do. So that's SEMrush. I had been working at SEMrush for the last 5 years. I'm no longer there. I have my own agency, but I still love this tool, and I really use it. And here's what I'm trying to point out here. You have a competitive landscape, and so you are here, yeah? And then you can show like, okay, but you have a lot of missed opportunities. Your competitors are doing it much better. So what we can do for you, or what we can do for our own business, we can enlarge our presence by taking those missed opportunities. Because our landscape is big, but we are so small. We need to be bigger. That's our problem. And it doesn't matter whether we are receiving a stable flow of revenue, because we can do much better. That's pointing out an issue about visibility in different regions. So here's like, I have a really pretty good visibility in yes. Yes, I'm interested in UK market, but it looks like everything is fine with my UK market. No, it's not fine, because some of your competitors receiving much more traffic from that region. So you can do much better in this region. Okay. I'm okay with my mobile traffic. Why I should care about that? Because it's lower than the industry average metric, and it's like where you should be focused on. And Marcus also mentioned that we check a lot of websites on mobile, and we are forced to use desktop versions just because mobile isn't good enough to use or isn't user-friendly. But your competitor can grab your traffic. That's why it's important to be there, and that's what you can grab from here. I love SEO Monitor because it gives you a clear vision of how much you can get, and that helps you pitch properly because you have money here. You can see how much you can get, and you can say, okay, I'll charge less. Okay, I'll charge less. And the result from SEO campaign will be long-term, and you're going to stay with it. So that's a great deal. That's a newly launched tool. It's called Horizon, and I love how they pointing out in this tool the industry average and where you are by some specific group of keywords. Here's like, it's like for the group of keywords, as I remember, cheap flights. And there you can see like how much market each of those companies take from this landscape. It's like, oh my gosh, we are so small compared to our competitors. We need to do it better. We need to invest in this. Okay, I'm visible, everything is fine with me, I have a lot of keywords, but it might be that SEO visibility below the average in industry, because your position there below than the rest of others market players. And you should invest not in getting new keywords, but invest in optimizing proper your pages. That might be an issue as well. Okay. That's an interesting case, because in most cases we look at the overall number of backlinks and how it's showing a stable growth. But we hardly look at the number of new backlinks and what trend we see. And here you can see that it's not a positive trend. So they're like going, let's say it's pretty stable, but it's not positive. So there is a problem with PR, outreach, or quality of content, it doesn't matter, but that's a problem. It's not a positive. That's BuzzSumo, and they've recently launched a really good content marketing insights where you can clearly compare two different companies and see how they're present in terms of their content for some different range of times. And here's what you can see, that, for example, Expedia invests in content and e-bookers doesn't do this. That's why they have below the average shares compared to Expedia, and they don't have a good number of content. So that might be a problem as well. And I'd like to continue the question about PR. That's like, okay, we produce a content, we produce a lot of content, but it's useless. Why it's useless? Because we have shares, but no one want to refer to us. So it's not fairly good enough to make a backlink to your website, to your content. And that's a problem as well, because your competitor's content generates links and your content doesn't work. So what you need to do, you need to do better content and stop producing those trash. And if we talk about content, then it should be clearly PR, because it's outreach and it's a part of PR currently. And that's what you can use, like SimilarWeb, and it's a great tool for pointing out your landscape and for pointing out where you are. And so here you can see that, for example, if you have a lower than average industry referral traffic, you have an issue with PR. You don't receive a sufficient flow of referral traffic, you don't do a proper outreach, and you don't do a proper content marketing campaigns, even if you receive a lot of social media shares. That's what I use pretty a lot for my personal needs when I have a conversation with my potential clients. I use this one because it clearly points out where you are compared to your competitor or a couple of competitors, so it depends how much you are going to adhere. It gives you an idea where you are. And if you are like the lowest line, then you are bad. So you are like, okay, I have an issue. I need to fix it. And that's the last one. It's social media, and I can't live without it because Arrival IQ does everything for me. Pointing out my landscape, doing competitive analysis, and showing everything in just a couple of minutes. So I don't need to prepare any kind of reports. And that's an example about channels, using various channels. And that's what you can do there. You can add your competitor and see how they're presenting in different channels and whether they're using YouTube or not. And there's a question to you or to your client. Okay, your competitor, they are using YouTube heavily, and they receive a lot of conversion from there. So it's like you can dig deeper and see like whether it's like generating traffic, conversions, whatever. And why you don't use YouTube? Because it's a great channel and it's a video content, and it's like it's a really cutting-edge content, let's say, because people are really interested in consuming this type of content. And what I recommend in the end, you are doing like random research, checking a lot of tools, or a couple of, it's up to you how much you're going to use it, which one you're going to select. My idea is just to point out how you can do it. And then you can invest each time a wheel, or you can use a pre-built template. And what I think from my perspective, that it's really good to have a pre-built template, because there you can put, it doesn't matter whether you're an agency or whether you are just on a company side and you're just a part of a team. Because besides it's like at any point it's going to save your time, you're going to be more effective, yeah, because it's going to be more structured. Your data will be organized in some logic. And what is I love, yeah, branding, it's like a question for mostly for agencies. Yeah, I know about that. But the last one about tracking results, about improving it, because what we need to do each time, we need to improve our templates. And we need to think over how we can do better. And that's the industry average about using templates. So whether agencies, they prefer to use templates or not using templates. And I think that there's still a good portion of those who don't use, and I think it's a shame that they don't use it. And so, like, okay, we have like data, templates, and it doesn't matter actually where we're working in agencies, in digital agency, or we work just in a random business, but we also need to track our results, how effective we are in pitching our clients when we try to use emotions, data, templates. So what we need? We need a CRM system. And so like we can also organize those templates in a kind of client profile style, for example, which is like a good idea, I think, because you can have some kind of templates which are organized based on the user's needs. And only in CRM system you can understand whether your pitches were enough effective and how your customers were converting and what stage they were going through. That's why you need CRM system, because don't let your salesperson sit on your data, because it's going to be painful, it's going to take a lot of time, it's going to ruin your business. Make your processes, business processes, clear and scalable. Don't make them connected to human resources so deeply. Because in that way, you're going to be connected too much to your employees, and you're going to face a lot of problems. Be data-driven. Use tools not only for your work like a CEO, digital marketing specialist. Use tools to check your business processes as well. I think that's pretty a lot of people, which is kind of shocking for me, which from our industry, and they don't use tools. CRM tools, I mean. It's like, oh my gosh, because we are data-driven, we are in digital marketing, but we don't use any kind of CRM systems. Well, I think some of them still use Excel, and in worst case, they use like, I don't know, paper notes maybe? Oh my gosh, ridiculous. That's my personal point of view on that. So don't let your processes be not transparent for you like a business owner, or for you like a manager, or for you like an employee as well, because you can do much better if you can understand your processes, analyze them, and then improve. And that's non-stop process of improvements which you can do because you have a data. Without knowing the trends, you can't do better, unfortunately. You can only think over it and might be doing better, but being for sure, no. Unfortunately, no. So yeah, spend your time on organization and then do better. And here's my last slide. Just like summarizing everything and giving you an idea why you should use a combined approach of emotions and data, and how you can do better. Because emotional intelligence, it helps us build and prolong and move our relationship. But without competitive intelligence, we can't speed up our conversion processes, we can't point out real customer problems, and we can't make increase in conversions to close deals. Thank you very much. You can connect me at any of those social media channels. I'm really excited to be here. Thank you very much, and I'm more than sure that you're special.